Once upon a time, in a little village tucked between rolling hills, there lived a bright, curious girl named Emily. Emily loved her room. It was her special place, filled with books that whispered adventures and toys that seemed to come alive in her imagination. But there was one thing she loved most of all, a small, old lantern her grandmother had given her. It wasn't an ordinary lantern. It had swirls of gold and silver etched into its glass, and when Emily lit it, it cast the most beautiful patterns of light on her bedroom walls. But there was something else, something magical about it. Every night, when the lantern flickered to life, it didn't just make patterns. It painted glowing pictures, pictures of her dreams. At first, the pictures were small, stars twinkling like tiny fireflies or flowers blooming in slow motion. But as the days went by, they grew bigger and brighter. Castles appeared, with banners flapping in a gentle breeze. Oceans rippled with glowing waves, and once, Emily even saw a dragon swoop across her ceiling. Each night, she stayed up a little longer, watching in wonder. What would the lantern show her next? One night, something strange happened. Emily lit the lantern as usual, but instead of showing pictures, the light inside started swirling, faster and faster. It filled the room with a soft hum, like the wings of 1,000 tiny birds. Then, a voice, gentle but urgent, whispered from the lantern. "Emily, we need you." Before Emily could even gasp, she felt herself being lifted right off her bed and pulled into the lantern's light. Colors swirled around her, pink, blue, gold, until she landed softly on a field of glowing grass. She wasn't in her bedroom anymore. She was in a dream world. The dream world was unlike anything Emily had ever seen. The sky wasn't just blue, it shimmered like a pearl, with colors shifting every second. Trees sparkled like crystal, and rivers glowed with light. Everything felt alive and magical. But not everything was peaceful. Around her, tiny glowing creatures were zipping this way and that. They looked like little blobs of light with wings, and they were causing all kinds of mischief. One flew through a tree, turning its leaves into candy canes. Another splashed into a river, making the water ripple with laughter. Emily watched, wide-eyed. Then she heard footsteps, a soft, steady rhythm, and turned around. Standing before her was a figure wrapped in robes that shimmered like moonlight. He carried a staff topped with a glowing orb, and his eyes sparkled like stars. "I am the Dream Keeper," he said, his voice warm and steady. "And I'm afraid we're in a bit of trouble." He explained that the little glowing creatures were dreams, runaway dreams, to be precise. Every night, he gathered dreams from the dream world and sent them to children all over the real world. But tonight, something had gone wrong. The dreams had escaped, and now they were running wild. "They're not bad," the Dream Keeper said. "But they can't stay here. If they do, the dream world will fall out of balance. I need your help, Emily. You're the only one who can catch them." Emily wasn't sure why she was the only one who could help, but she didn't hesitate. "What do I need to do?" she asked. The Dream Keeper handed her a small, glowing net. It felt warm and light in her hands, like it was made of stardust. "Use this to catch the runaway dreams," he said. "But be careful. Some dreams are shy, and others, well, they like to play tricks." And so, Emily began her quest. The first dream she spotted was a tiny, glowing kitten. It darted between trees, purring softly. Emily crouched low and whispered gently, "Here, kitty, kitty." The kitten paused, tilting its glowing head, and Emily quickly scooped it into the net. The net glowed brighter with each dream she caught. Next, she found a dream of flying horses grazing on a cloud. Then a dream of fireworks that burst into candy. But not all dreams were easy to catch. As Emily climbed a glowing hill, she saw a shadow pass overhead. She looked up and gasped. A massive dream, a dragon made of golden light, soared through the sky. Its wings glittered like the sun, and its roar echoed across the dream world. The dragon wasn't just big, it was fast. It swooped low, its glowing body leaving trails of light in the air. Emily ran as fast as she could, trying to keep up. She climbed a sparkling tree, hoping to get closer. Just as the dragon flew by, she leapt into the air and swung her net. For a moment, she thought she'd missed. But then, the net glowed brighter than ever. She'd caught it. With the dragon safely in the net, Emily returned to the dream keeper. He smiled and tapped his staff on the ground. One by one, the dreams floated out of the net and returned to the dream world, each one glowing brighter than before. "You've done it," the dream keeper said. "You've saved the dream world." The dream world seemed to thank her. The trees shimmered, the rivers sparkled, and even the sky danced with light. Emily felt a warmth in her heart, a feeling of joy and adventure she would never forget. The next thing Emily knew, she was back in her room. The lantern sat on her nightstand, glowing softly. Had it all been a dream? She wasn't sure. But when she looked closer, she saw a tiny glow, a little blob of light, wiggling inside the lantern. It was the kitten Dream, purring softly. Emily smiled and whispered, "Good night." And from that night on, Emily's dreams were even more magical, filled with glowing adventures and friends from the dream world. The lantern sat by her bed, always ready to take her on another journey, reminding her that the magic of dreams is never far away. Dreams are where magic begins. What will you dream tonight?